Hello and welcome. Today I'll be talking about creating challenges in ExactPath. Challenges are a great built-in motivational feature to support engagement for students. They are teacher-defined and entirely flexible to meet the expectations of how you want to implement ExactPath with your students. Today I'll show you quickly how to create a challenge, measure progress against a challenge, and even take a look at how challenges look from the student perspective. Let's get started. I'm going to begin by selecting my classes, which I am already on right now, and then I'm going to drill into challenges. That's where I can find all of my challenge information. The challenge feature is available to administrators and teachers, but challenges must be created one class at a time, and therefore probably a better feature for teachers to implement to support that motivation. I will start by selecting my class from this drop-down menu. If I have just one class, this drop-down won't show for me at all, but rather my class will be auto-selected by default. Really simple. Here I can see all of my active challenges. I can also pivot to see past challenges. Let's start by actually creating a challenge. I'm going to go ahead and click this plus button. It's going to walk me through the simple process to create a challenge myself. So first I'm going to give my challenge a name. My challenge is going to be Mrs. Michelle's Dance Party Challenge. From there, I'm going to decide how long do I want my challenge to run for my students. So I can only create challenges from the current day into the future for obvious reasons. So I'll go ahead and set up this challenge to run for about a week. Then I'm going to select the subjects I want this challenge to apply to. This doesn't create challenges for each subject, but rather allows my challenges to span a single subject or to span all three. Or of course, two if you want to select just two. I'm going to select just reading today. From there, I can choose my metric to evaluate my students on. What is this challenge going to be about? This is where I have two different choices. First, I have this time spent on learning activities. This is a great challenge type if you want to encourage time on task and promote grit from your students. It's going to allow me to select how many minutes I want students to work to meet this challenge. The other challenge type available to me is the number of trophies earned. This is a great challenge type focused on mastery. Since we know every time students earn an 80% or above for a skill on their progress check in their learning path, they earn a trophy. So I can create a challenge here focused on how many trophies I want students to earn to be able to meet that challenge. I'm going to go ahead and select time spent, and then I'm going to enter 30 minutes. That is how much time I want students to spend in their reading learning path during this period of time I have selected. But it doesn't stop there. I can add a description that my students will see when they get the notification that this challenge has been created. So I'm going to go ahead and say, you can do it, meet this challenge, and you'll be invited to my Friday afternoon class dance party. So I can use this description really in any way I want to. I can use it to add more detail about what I want students to do. I can use it to sort of cheer on my students, right, with a simple message like you can do it. But best of all, I can add a prize that's personalized to my students. Suddenly this dance party challenge makes more sense because I have added an actual class dance party as the incentive for my students meeting this challenge. This flexible element makes it totally personalizable for you and your students. So once I fill that in, again, that is entirely optional. I do not have to add this element at all if I don't want to. I can choose the reward badge that students will actually earn. Got a lot of different choices here that I can flip through to choose from for my students. Because I've decided that the prize associated with this challenge is going to be a dance party, I'm going to go ahead and choose the party hat to fit the occasion. Finally, I must choose my students. Who do I want to actually receive this challenge? By default, all the students in my class that I have selected are included in the challenge, but I can go ahead and remove all and start fresh, or just bump out the 1 or 2 students that maybe I don't want to receive this challenge. When I'm finished and I'm happy with my selections, I can choose Save Changes, and my students will be alerted that a new challenge has been set for them. Even though my challenge has been created, I can select this edit icon here, this little pencil and sort of paper piece, and that's going to allow me to make changes as needed to my challenge. Maybe I want to pop in another student or make some other adjustments. I can do that with this edit functionality. I can also easily copy or duplicate my challenge with these little 2 pages kind of layered on top of each other, that icon there. If I want to run the same challenge again for a different group of students, and maybe I don't want to type in all those selections, I can simply duplicate my challenge. Or maybe I just want to run the same challenge, but for a subsequent week. I can go ahead and set up challenges for each week of the next month or the next grading period, all at the same time, using this duplicate option to let me do that very, very quickly. Now let's talk about actually reviewing challenge progress. From this same area, I can click on a challenge tile and get more details about how students are doing. I'm going to go ahead and click into this treasure hunt challenge because I see 2 students completed it this week. So if I click into this recent challenge, I can see some information here, some details on how I set that challenge up, the students included in that challenge, and then since this was a time on task challenge, the details here are around time. How many minutes and seconds did students actually spend in their learning path out of the total 20 minutes that I set this challenge up for? So it shows even students that have gone beyond that 20-minute mark, and then also gives me a sense of when that challenge was completed. From there, I can print certificates for my students if they have earned certificates for their work. So here's a glimpse at what that certificate might look like. I can also print all certificates and quickly print every certificate my students have earned with one button there. So in total, challenges really allow students to receive that digital badge, that printed certificate, and any customizable prize you might want to offer. It's a lot of extra incentive that you're able to create and design to support your ExactPath implementation. So far, we've looked at how to create challenges and how to review progress against them. Now I want to quickly show you what students will see. I'm now logged into the 3rd through 5th grade interface. This is very similar to what students viewing the K through 2 interface of ExactPath would also see. So keep in mind there are some similarities there. I have the student messages from my teacher here in the center. That's where challenges are going to appear. When I go ahead and click on that and go through these messages, that's where I can see the details of the challenges that have been set up for the student. From there, I can also go into this rewards area from the left navigation, and that's where I can see any in-progress challenge. So this treasure hunt challenge that was recently set up, I can see that this is in progress and read the details of exactly what the student is expected to do in order to earn that badge. Notice it's grayed out, but when the student earns it, it jumps down to this earned section, and they're able to click in and see some details, even print their own certificates themselves to recognize their success. Now, I've quickly pivoted to the 6th through 12th grade interface for a peek at that view, since our older learners do have a very different experience in ExactPath. Upon login, I can see these alerts down the right side of my screen. This is where any new challenges I have received will display. Got this nice little, icon here to draw your attention to it. I can read some quick information, and then it directs me to go to the rewards page, which I can also find here at the top to get more information. So similar to the other interface, our older students also have rewards. Again, the in-progress challenges are at the top, and the latest earned are right here at the bottom with an ability to print that certificate. All in all, challenges are a great option to help motivate individual learners that need some extra incentive. They're also a terrific whole class engagement tool to bring your class together and get students working toward a common goal. Sky's the limit when it comes to making ExactPath teacher challenges work for you.